Check out the all-new WinBet Sports Bar located at FedEx Forum, just off Beale Street out. Open every event night plus non-event Saturday and Sunday starting at 11 a.m. The WinBet Sports Bar is your lock for the best local brews, food, and all the games. Sports fans looking for action and a little extra juice can receive exclusive in-bar only promotion, including odds boosts, free bets, and more from the WinBet Sportsbook app. Plus, watch all the games. College and pro with over 30 TVs and Sunday NFL tickets. Parking is free for guests and available in the Gossett Motors Garage. For more information, go to FedExForum.com.
Grizz fans, the official Grizzlies mobile app is your key to the game. It's an all-in-one experience updated with even more functionality. You can keep track of a team with news, social media, the schedule, stats, and the standings. And you can log into Grind City Media to watch and listen live to streaming content like The Chris Vernon Show and Rise and Grind. You can check out Grind City Media articles, videos, podcasts, and GCM talent. See what's going on right here at FedEx Forum with our concert and event calendar. Plus, you can find detailed information on seating and concessions with arena maps. You can take the app into FedEx Forum as your mobile wallet, use it as your ticket to the game for Grizz Den mobile pickup, and as contact-free payment for arena concessions. The official Grizzlies mobile app, your key to the game.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Due to phenomenal demand, the Backstreet Boys are back. The record-breaking DNA World Tour continues. Brian, Kevin, Howie, Nick, and AJ. Backstreet Boys. Quit playing games with FedEx Forum, Friday, September 9th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, check backstreetboys.com.
HBCU Huddle with me, CJ Hurt, and Mike Wallace has all of your HBCU football, sports, and culture needs covered. We discuss the hottest stories weekly across the black college sports landscape, including the SWAC, MEAC, Tennessee State, Lane, Lemoyne-Owen, and all the black colleges in between. New episodes drop every Thursday, and you can stay connected with the latest stories and discussions about your favorite HBCU by going to grindcitymedia.com, selecting the podcast folder, and clicking on the HBCU Huddle tab. HBCU Huddle is a spot for all your black college sports and culture needs.
The Santi Aldama
we have
moment,
to talk about him.
the reverse dunk, one of the plays of the year, without question. He pump fakes, then drives past, and then
a reverse?
You never see under the basket reverse. No one does that. Like, not Santi Aldama doesn't do it. Who does it?
The Chris Vernon Show, live weekdays at noon on grindcitymedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Rise and Grind with Jessica and Meghan, live on grindcitymedia.com. Now, here's your hosts, Jessica Benson and Meghan Triplett.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome into Rise and Grind. Meghan Triplett, Jessica Benson, CJ Hurt back here with you all in the studio once again.
First time in so long.
It's been days.
You should have seen us trying to get through yesterday. It was like, what do we even do Friday? I don't know.
Hard.
It was a little. It was just, the game felt so far, and then obviously with the Warriors Parade yesterday, and we were ahead of the Warriors Parade, so it was like a hodgepodge of everything going on. But how was your 4-day weekend?
It was a good weekend. It was good. It was nice, relaxing. Lost my glasses. Had car trouble.
But super relaxing.
But super
new
great.
Beyonce.
It's all new. Beyonce came out. You know, got braids, so it was a good weekend though, but I'll be glassless until I have two prescriptions to go glasses.
Oh, that's fun.
So,
how blurry is it?
It's not too bad. I don't have to read anything, right? So that's good. Do I have to read something?
I'll make sure to send a tweet out or send a tweet to the Slack for you to read.
Yeah, that's basically like the little small. If it's too small, then I won't be able to see it.
It's okay. You're not going to miss much. Is today the first day of summer?
Yeah.
Oh, is
Happy
it?
first day of summer. It's supposed to be 100 degrees. Way to celebrate.
Yesterday was really nice. Yesterday was like beautiful weather. Sunday was okay too. So it's like you had like a quick little break, but not the break that I feel like people up north got. I think over the weekend it was like cold for people in the 60s. But
watching the U.S. Open over the weekend in Boston or Massachusetts, it was cold. Like people were in parkas, people had hoods on. I was like, this is a whole different universe right now because it's just straight sweat here.
Jeez.
I don't think it's been. I heard like a crazy stat where it hasn't been over 100 degrees 2 days in a row in over a decade in Memphis, but apparently it might happen. Like
I feel like we got there last week was so hot.
I thought.
Last week was so hot, so I don't know. I feel like maybe not over, but when you do the heat index, I mean,
it feels like
right. Like that's what I look at because it doesn't matter what you guys say it is. What it feels like to me, what my hair looks like, what my body looks like. If my skin is sticky, then that tells me a lot. So last week was so brutal enough was too much for me that I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that today, tomorrow,
Yeah.
all week. The little weather calendar looks like nothing but misery. Then whoa.
Yeah, stay inside, be cool, drink a lot of fluids, drink a lot of water.
Drink your water.
Yes, that's the biggest thing.
Yes, stay hydrated. But for us, we have a big show today. Kelcey Wright-Johnson is going to join us coming up at around 8:20. It is NBA Draft Week, and we'll get her take. She's been going through the Grind City Media mock draft, and we'll have all the info on that. But before we get to her, it was the Warriors victory parade yesterday. And Megan, we haven't had a chance to talk to you about the fact that the Grizzlies have inserted themselves into the brains of the Golden State Warriors. And from everything happening over the weekend with Clay's comments on Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Draymond going back and forth on Twitter. And then yesterday, you even had in the parade more references to the Grizzlies. There were Warriors fans chanting, "Whoop that trick." There were signs about being a bum. Klay Thompson is out here on his Instagram story straight up adding Mem Grizz. What's your take on all of it?
So when Klay Thompson first had his comments and like when they had started to come out after the game and talking about how there was a Grizzlies player who said, this and that about strength in numbers and tweeted it out. First, I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. And then for me, I was more upset about the word bum. And bum is a curse word.
Freaking bum.
That's a curse word. That's fighting words. And so I don't like that word. And so that's the part where really, really agitated me. And then also, I know we're biased, but like Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of my favorite players. So you also don't talk, you don't disrespect the family like that. So that's a whole other situation, another side. I get there's messy, and I love pettiness. I love messiness, and I love you just won the playoffs, and you got the trophy. But instead of talking about like Boston or talking about like the Dallas Mavericks fans, which I really do think that if you're thinking about the Grizzlies, and it did show us that that's something that he held on to, and he held on to it to this very moment, which is great for him because he gets the last laugh. He will get the last laugh for now because yes, he's getting a ring. He's staying there with a trophy. However, it sets up for what I know for the Grizzlies. Like just thinking back to it, I was angry at first, but now I'm thinking like, well, you know what? If people are thinking about me, and we talked about this last week, I might not think about an ex or anything, but I would love for an ex to think about me all day, 24/7, still to be in love with me. I'm good. I've moved on. So I'm okay with that because that just shows me that I'm still in your mind because one, I'm memorable. Two, you're probably like madly in love with me or jealous or about something. So I like this boat. I like this field. There's disrespect there, but I'm looking at it as like, dang, so they thinking about me. They worried about me. They checking for me. I ain't checking for them, but they checking for me. I'm cool with it.
I've been involved as a participant and a spectator in a handful of skirmishes in my day. Never once has one popped off because of bum. I did not know bum was a fighting word.
Bum's a fighting word.
I didn't know that.
Bum is a
Especially
fighting
using
word.
bum because also Jaren's not a bum. Like you could make an argument, no one should be called a bum, period. But like Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the cornerstones of this franchise. Jaren Jackson Jr. is over in Milan living his best life at Fashion Week. Like there's nothing bum about Jaren. So to like go that low, and you can't say probably the words that you really want to say. So Klay always does a good job of, and players, period, do a good job of like not getting fined, but still proving their point. And like saying freaking bum makes a pretty big, like that's where you sit in that space. But I'm with you. Like if you're on their minds, it's fine. And I love this. Like here the Warriors are celebrating a championship. They're having their parade. And yet 2 days in a row now coming into this new week,
Yeah.
you're still able to talk about the Grizzlies in some capacity. That's like next level, not winning a championship and still being relevant.
Well, if you think for Warriors fans, you look at the series and like who they played, and we've said it before, and how FedEx Forum is a very, very hard place to play in. The Grizzlies are a very, very hard opponent, a hard matchup to have. But when you think about Memphis and to see the level that it has gotten and taken, where the champion, the team that is standing there, they're not talking now about, oh, the Celtics fans, it was a tough place to play in, this and that. They're still talking about from 2 series ago, from like not Boston, not Dallas, but 2 series ago, where they're still thinking about that fan base and that team. And I really do think when we played the Warriors and we talked about how the word rivalry kept being brought up, I think maybe it was like something that we were tasting, and now we're all the way there. Like we have like made a whole entire menu. It's a whole recipe. We have engulfed it. This is becoming what is going to be a rivalry, especially for next season. See, Kerr said not just there yet. You have to have some years into it. If you look at how everything's like played out and laid out with like tweets and different saying, and even your fan basing is different for the players. The players, it's like, okay, that's kind of weird, but whatever. When your fan bases are also getting involved into it, I think that there's something about the Grizzlies that scares them. This atmosphere scares them, and it makes it exciting. And so when things are exciting and you're looking around and seeing what everybody else has, and you're maybe like talking about it, like when I'm talking about to my friends or who you're creeping on, they're creeping on us, that's a good thing. Like if I'm creeping on somebody late at night and I'm scrolling and I accidentally liked something from 2 years ago, that's what the Warriors are doing for us. And I'm here for it. I'm like, you know what? Sit in this because it's only a matter of time when the Grizzlies will do it back to you.
And that's the thing, watching yesterday, it looked so much fun. Like anytime you watch a championship, right? And like the Warriors do it well. Like Draymond has said it over and over and over again. Like, you messed around and let us win another championship. We know how to celebrate. We've been here before. We've taken a little hiatus, but we can come back. This is our 4th championship parade in the last 8 years. You brought a physical GOAT. Steph Curry looks a little sleepy, but he like night early. But the GOAT was there. Everything was there. The players were on the next level. They were having fun. You have Steph holding every single trophy in the bag with the cigar in mouth.
That was really
amazing.
Cool. I love that. I don't know like who thought about that to bring every single trophy, because I had to take a pause. I was like, dang. He really did get the NBA All-Star MVP. He did get the conference MVP. We knew he got the finals trophy, the finals MVP. When you lay it out like that, it's like, that is a boss move. Like that's a boss move right there. And I love the saying, what are they going to say now? Like you guys know I love Steph Curry. So like I love that saying for him particularly more. But this was it. Everything there. I'm like, oh, that's really dope. When you bring everything. And then the rings on the necklace with the diamond necklace, it wasn't just like any type of chain. And those are real diamonds. You know, there's one thing, like if you ever see me with like a chain that has like diamonds in it, you can go ahead and guess it's fake. That was real, and I'm just all here for it.
Don't call yourself out. Just let people assume that it's real.
Cheap.
At this
I'm
point
too cheap. If you ever saw me out, I'm too cheap enough to like wear that too.
I just bought wedding jewelry off Amazon, so I'm right there with you at this point.
Jewelry? Oh, jewelry
yes.
For your earrings. I thought you meant your ring.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you did not.
No, I did not get my ring off of Amazon, but I did. Probably. I don't know. I got a very nice necklace and bracelet that I was questionable. Someone recommended it. I ordered it, and it came, and it actually looks very, very nice. And now I just gave it away.
A lot of people get their like wedding bands off of like Etsy. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher revealed this one time. It was like a late night talk show, and there she said that she was like, people always think that I get various bands. She's like, I just get my $100 band because I always end up losing it. But I will say a lot of people do. You can get like nice bands for $100-$200.
Yeah. You can get whatever you want
on
Amazon at this point. You could probably get a replica championship ring on Amazon.
Steph Curry's was not.
No, Steph Curry's was very, very real. And Warriors insider Chris Luther said it was the most lit parade he's ever seen. He watched it start to finish.
It did look like it looked different.
It looked like a good time.
But out of all the parades that we've like seen, this one did look as if that, like it looked different.
No one stayed on the buses. No one stayed on the buses the entire time. They were off. You had Jordan Poole with a squirt gun.
Squirted me with the.
You'd be in the midst of the parade. You'd be like, yes. You have like taking kids
No,
out.
I feel like you should sign a voucher to agree to get like champagne showered. When like Aisha had a champagne like bottle, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm here to celebrate you, but I didn't sign up for that part. Like I guess well with even with braids, no, I'm not like. You have to ask somebody. That's like bum.
Sticky.
Bum and like getting sprayed with a water gun and
Same
champagne showers,
category.
same category for me.
What do we think of Klay Thompson's little
It's
MJ
corny.
dance moves at this
Goofy.
point? Let him live his best life, CJ.
You asked me what I thought. He can do that. That he lost his hat on the way to the
First of all,
parade.
but how amazing is that he rode the boat there?
Yes.
Like that's like he has got to have a boat series. Someone has got to have like a boat series with Klay Thompson
Captain Klay.
during this off season where it's like it's a show. It's all on the boat. Like Draymond Green has his podcast that he does after games. Like Klay Thompson's got to do some type of boat series, and someone has to pick it up. I hope he's gotten that phone call already.
Maybe Below Deck could like. I've never watched an episode of
Me
Below
neither,
Deck, so
but
I don't
yeah.
know what the context is there. But perhaps he could like infuse some sports levels. He does the captain hat very very well, and we've heard all of his comments about the water. It's where he feels the most comfortable in this life. But he also looks really comfortable celebrating a championship. And Draymond Green, there is nothing more terrifying than getting a message from Chris yesterday that was like, "I'm going to be Draymond Green at our wedding," and I was like, "Whoa, no."
Draymond
there
was his
has
best.
to be. He got off. My favorite part of Draymond Green though is that he took a little ice cream break. He went to
did love that.
Ghirardelli. He got an ice cream cone. Got back into it. Those are priorities.
That was the moment I was like, they're just like us.
Yes.
They're just like us because we all could use an ice cream cone every now and then. And that was just an epic moment. I was wondering I was like watching the video. I was like, who paid? Or do you, if you're
You gotta get it
Ghirardelli,
for
do you just say
free.
like, just go ahead, don't worry about it?
Mr. Green, this one's on us. Thanks for bringing this
Hell
back.
no.
Yeah.
You know what inflation is? No, you got to pay for that. I got to pay in the Bay. I got to pay $7 for gas. He's got to pay for that.
I didn't see a credit card get whipped out, but I might have just cut off it. But I don't know why I was looking for them. Like, oh, is he gonna pay? Is he gonna pay for this? Are they gonna give him to for free? I hope he gives him for free. But I'm also like, oh, I hope he gives him a really big tip to be like, hey,
Just throw some bills at it at this point. Was this the first? I didn't realize. Did they previously have their parades in Oakland? Was this the first time it was in San Francisco?
I don't know.
Proper?
I think you're an insider would know that best.
I know. I feel like he made a comment and it didn't stick in my brain. But it was cool. It was a good scene. It was a ton of people out there to celebrate. And it just made me think, like, you can't help but think in those cases, I really hope I get to be a part of something like that someday because it just looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
Except you don't want to get champagne showered. It's okay.
Yeah, I was like,
we'll get
I would
you
just
the
like
goggles.
to be.
We'll get
no,
you.
I just want to be on the boat where I'm not around. Like, I'm people. Like a lot of the spaces, I want to be there. I would love to experience that, but also in the same space as you. I just want to be up high, experiencing it. I don't like a lot of people. I looked at it. I was like, oh goodness. Maybe because of the pandemic.
Claustrophobic.
It changed me. The pandemic has changed me. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, like all that body odor.
So many
rubbing up against someone.
All that sweat.
I would love to see the Grizzlies do that. They could just also just have a little section for me and my family where we're just roped off. That's it.
You want a VIP section at the parade?
Yes.
I just a little. I think for employees, I think employees should get a VIP section.
Well, you could
right?
stay on a car. Like if they had the double-decker bus, it's a choice to get off the bus. And you could stay on.
Won't be my
and
choice.
just up top.
I'll let you guys be the representation of Rise and Grind, Jessica and CJ.
I would want to be right in the middle
wandering
of it.
around like women of the people. Like,
I want the squirt
guys,
gun.
I know you want all that.
I want the inflatable. I want everything.
It's the year of the yes for you. Summer of the yes.
The summer of
Summer
it cuts off after the honeymoon. Then it's the fall of back to reality as it is. Yes, Chris did confirm that all other parades in Oakland because they played there.
Okay. Well, it looked like a really good time. I will say that. Like, regardless of I know there's still some things that we don't like about them and what was happening and seeing the growl towel that Klay Thompson posted on his Instagram story. I know Klay Thompson didn't make it, but to see the growl towel with in yellow say strength in numbers and then the word bum and then Klay tagging the Memphis Grizzlies. I was like, okay, you don't have to feed into it though. I really thought Klay was going to try to take back his comments.
But no, he's not taking nothing
but you don't
back.
have to feed it. You don't have to feed into it. I get it. I get it. They're gonna get the last laugh. I get that. There's nothing that I can say to back it up because who's the last team standing? So this is your moment to do all this cockiness, but you can like be humble with it.
They're never humble when they win. They're not gracious in victory. They always rub it in. Think about how they rubbed it in Cleveland's face when they won all those years, right? They rub it in Cleveland's face. They rub it in LeBron's face. They just gonna rub it in your face.
But I don't know if it's rubbing in. It's like I don't think they even rubbed it into Cleveland's face because I guess there's if I win something that there's like a lot of hate around it, I'm gonna be cocky too, and I'm probably gonna rub it in people's faces. I'm admitting that. Yeah. But I do think that there's like a way, it's like a classier way of doing it, and I don't think the times before like that they were. I think that everything else is fine. They should be talking. Draymond Green should be on the mic saying "F everybody else" over and over again.
Shut up.
Right, I'm cool with that. I guess like the tag of the Grizzlies, unless Klay Thompson also wants this to be a thing. Because at the end of the day, we can milk it. Like we can cash out on this. Where I know that I don't know if you guys talked about it yesterday, but even the back and forth between Ja and Draymond talking about the Christmas games, I was like mad at respect for even Draymond to even say that. Okay, like let's schedule it in a sense because like Draymond also knows there's various ways. Draymond, as annoying as he is, he does things like in like a good way though. He fed into it too to talk about the Grizzlies Warriors Christmas Day. When do we ever think that we would be talking about? Because usually it's always the Warriors playing, LeBron's team, the Warriors playing, whoever, or now it might be the Boston team. But now we're talking about the Grizzlies from 2 series ago. We're gonna be talking about even Draymond's into it. Hey, like hey, you're young, but don't forget we're gonna host. Let's make it happen still. I'm like, oh. Like, they still understand it. So he's still, like, cocky with it, but he also still respects us. Klay with the tag, I don't think that was, like, a respect move, but I guess it's in a way that he's feeding into it.
It's just one, plus, okay, let's be honest. Like, any decision that was made yesterday was not a sober decision.
Right. No.
Sometimes you just do things.
Do you think that?
That's like a bender.
I haven't had a hangover in a very, very long time, but, I get migraines. Yeah. So I just now put them all on the same level. But like that's what, I can't choose to have a migraine. I'm just always like to have that much fun. I don't think I could ever. I wouldn't want to put that on my body.
All you got to do is stay hydrated.
Take some liquid. Just take some liquid IV.
That's past hydration. Hydration can't save you from that. Like what they are doing from the whole 3 days. Honestly,
Vegas,
Thursday,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
they went to
Monday.
Vegas, which that's a slap. Well, I don't know if that was a nudge to Cleveland. Cleveland did the same thing to them. They stopped in Vegas. They stopped in Vegas to celebrate. And then we saw what happened after the game to Vegas to now. I mean, where you just drunk the whole, at that point, you just drink the whole entire time.
That's where you go straight hair of the dog the next morning into the next round. You cannot allow yourself to sober up or you're dead. Because today, they're sleeping for like 24 hours. They're out, they're in their beds, they're getting something catered to them, whatever their favorite drunk hungover food is, because now you have to recover. They're also a little bit older. Like the last time around when they were celebrating, like every year you add to your life, it is harder to recover from those kind of activities. So I hope that they got all their, whatever it is, their favorite drink of choice to add some electrolytes back to their body, add some water, some greasy food, and just lights are off all day.
My whole body
aches
because it's been so long. But seeing Klay with the Hennessy bottle, I was just like, oh my gosh! I used to drink, and then you saw the champagne, and it's like Hennessy Brown and champagne. That was a former life that I don't even know. So when I see people do that, I'm just like, wow! How does that feel inside though?
We even drank a bottle of because Chris wanted to celebrate on Thursday, so we had a bottle and a half of champagne, and we both woke up and were like, oh, we're hungover because we just don't drink all the time now, and it was embarrassing. So they're gonna really feel it today, tomorrow, probably the next day.
Yeah, Jordan Poole's birthday was yesterday too. I mean, his little pool party
all summer.
Yeah, I will say mad props, and I when people think making it into something what I do love. I don't think Jaren is caring about this whole thing. He even said congrats to Jordan Poole yesterday. He tweeted at him too. Jordan Poole is not a part of it, but he's also part of the Splash Brothers because he's he's now become one of them. So, but I don't think he's even thinking he's living his best life in Italy, right? Italy, yes. France. I don't know where people go.
Milan,
and walking on fashion shows and having lines and stuff, fashion lines and whatnot, and diamonds hanging from your neck. He's living his best life.
More real diamonds.
No one's thinking about that.
Diamonds. That's fine.
Yeah, you do a parade with all those people. I go to Italy and sit on the beach and eat gelato. Jealous.
sounds like a better part of the equation.
It really does. It really does.
If we're being honest. All right, well, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, Kelcey Wright-Johnson is going to join us. We'll talk about this week's NBA draft that's coming up next year on Rise and Grind.
Don't put off getting your oil changed, Memphis. The Grizzlies' official partner. Take 5 oil changes faster than you think. There's no appointment needed. There isn't even a waiting room. Yep, you heard that correctly. Take 5 oil changes so fast you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's fast, friendly, and simple service at any of their locations across the Memphis area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. That means you won't even have time to show off your perfect jump shot or your killer crossover. Take 5, the stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Taco Bell has all the classic flavors you're craving. Order them ahead on the Taco Bell app for quick pickup in the drive-thru, or get them delivered right to your door. Are you a true Taco Bell fan? Join our team and eat for free, plus score flexible hours, scholarships, and more. Apply at jobs.tacobell.com today. Hours and participation may vary by location. Additional terms and fees may apply. Franchisees are independent operators and are responsible for their own employment practices and benefits.
Hey, here's your 4 grilled cheese double burgers. Enjoy your Sonic.
So, could you ever over cheese something?
Can you overachieve?
No, not overachieve. Overachieve.
What do you get when you combine 2 cheesy, craveable classics? The Sonic Grilled Cheese Double Burger. Made with 3 slices of melty American cheese layered between 2 100% pure seasoned beef patties and held together by thick Texas toast. Try one half price when you order in the Sonic app. Exclusions apply. See app for details. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Represent Every Day, presented by Delta Dental of Tennessee, is an incentive-based program focused on keeping youth K through 6th grade engaged in school in order to combat truancy. In partnership with Shelby County Schools and with the help of Delta Dental of Tennessee, the Grizzlies are focused on reducing chronic absenteeism among the most impacted schools in the Mid-South. Students in the program have the opportunity to win fun and unique prizes by going to school every day and being engaged in the classroom. For more information on the program, visit grizzlies.com/community/education today.
Need some barbecue nachos, brisket, ribs, maybe a cheese and sausage plate? The Rendezvous is now open for curbside and carryout. They also deliver through a few of the popular delivery apps. While not much changes in that alley basement, you will see a few small differences and additions. They are open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and for the first time ever, they have desserts, key lime pie tarts, chocolate chess pie tarts, and so much more. Spend some time downtown and visit our friends at The Rendezvous, a family-owned restaurant in downtown Memphis Alley since 1948.
Have you been told that you snore loudly, making choking noises, or gasp for air while sleeping? If so, you may have obstructive sleep apnea. 1 in 4 adults in the United States has obstructive sleep apnea. If left untreated, it can cause morning headaches, daytime sleepiness, high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, or diabetes. Call Mid-South Pulmonary and Sleep Specialist PC, the official pulmonary and sleep practice of the Memphis Grizzlies, at 901-276-6507.
LifeCare Ambulance is proud to be an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum. At LifeCare, they wear their hearts with pride. Their passion is their people. They want you to love what you do and where you do it. Their employee-driven culture encourages a healthy work-life balance and supportive work environment. They invest in your success and well-being so that you can provide the best care for the patients that they serve. Join the incredible team of EMTs and paramedics in Memphis, Nashville, and across the nation today. Learn more at lifecareamb.com. Welcome back to Rise and Grind. It is now time for a special drop-in visitor today, Kelcey Wright-Johnson, here ahead of Thursday's NBA draft. Kelcey, how's it going?
It is so early, you guys.
Every day. Every day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, the summertime. That's the biggest thing. It's early, it's hot, the sun is out, but it feels good. And even though we just wrapped up the NBA season on Thursday night, here we go right into the swing of things of what the draft is. We're just a couple of days away. I don't think that's like really settled in. Has it hit us all that draft is on Thursday?
The crazy thing is for me is that I kind of skipped the finals because I've been so busy doing draft stuff. Like I did not watch the last 2 games. So I've been in draft mode.
We're the opposite. I would definitely say 100% the opposite of that because I didn't really go into draft mode until someone asked me to do something on Sunday, and I was like, all right, let me see if I can like cram something together because we have been so like enamored with the finals. But luckily, we do have you who's been super tapped in. You've been going through the Grind City Media mock draft where you interview various media members from each of the teams selecting in the lottery. I guess just first and foremost, like overall, what's your impression of this draft coming up and what kind of draft are we going to get on Thursday?
I tend to err on the side of this draft is not a Zion Ja franchise-changing draft, only because, like right now, immediately, like immediate impact, because the 3 top guys, I tend to think 4 because I'm high on Jaden Ivey, but the 3 top guys are bigs. And historically, bigs or forwards, when you come into the league, take a few years to get going. And so when you have 3 big guys coming in number 1, I don't think they make an immediate impact.
Interesting.
Well, hey, James Wiseman likes to say he's an NBA champion right now, so you never know what happens with that. But you're right. Just ask him.
Ring me.
You're right. But when it does come to the draft, you are talking about some bigs, and reports are saying that Orlando still doesn't. We're not quite sure where they are leaning towards, but from everything that you have researched and talked to, do you think there's a clear number 1 pick right now?
No. I think 1 and 2 could flip either way. I think 3 is set, and I have no idea what's going on with 4 because Jaden clearly doesn't want to go there, and they might switch out. Anyway, when I talked to the Orlando beat reporter, he was like, this is the biggest debate possible. He went with Jabari Smith Jr., which I tend to think is a really good fit, but I can see the arguments for Chet too, because you don't like Chet weighs less than me. And he's 7'1", and so I can see you wanting to put him up with a big, like Wendell Carter Jr., so he doesn't have that defensive responsibility. But Jabari Smith is probably the better player. Yeah. So when you win 20 games or 22 or whatever the Magic had last year, do you go with someone who potentially could be a star in a few years, or do you go with the best talent? And I think that's the question right now, and he went best talent.
If you were having to answer that question, because it is so interesting from a sense of like Jabari Smith might be the best pro prospect in terms of all of the things that he brings to the table, but Chet Holmgren is so intriguing, and even thinking back, like watching Chet Holmgren play in person when they played the Memphis Tigers in Portland in the NCAA tournament, you think to yourself like, wow, like the camera really does.
Oh, you saw him in person.
Saw him live and in the flesh, and my first thought was the camera adds 10 pounds. Like he's even skinnier in person.
I thought you were gonna say he's bigger.
No, he's not. He's so thin, and his body, like you just kind of get like sucked into watching this guy play basketball. But then he'll throw out like some like ridiculous handle move and have court vision where you're like, this man should not be able to make the pass that he just made. And then, oh yeah, he'll knock down a couple threes along the way. It's just like the intrigue is there, but then obviously the concerns are too.
Okay, so that's what the gentleman who I talked to at OKC said. He compared him to a healthy Porzingis. He called him a unicorn because of that exact thing. He's a 7'1" guy who has great footwork, who can handle the ball, who can shoot, is in like incredible rim protector. Like his defensive like reads are really incredible. However, he weighs 195 pounds.
You can add weight.
But you can, and they said since high school, if you go back and look at high school, obviously like you are turning into a man, so you gain weight anyway, but they said he's put on a ton of weight. I put in quotations. Yeah. But he also compared that weight gain to Giannis. Like Giannis was skinny when he came into the league, and look at him now. He's a brick wall.
Yeah. There's like levels to it, because like I one time for Chet, I went a deep dive into his Instagram and was like scrolling and looking at those older pictures of him from high school, and he has put on more weight. It is still one of those like but is that enough when it comes to
the a teenager
NBA
like
level?
we've all put on weight since we were teenagers.
I'm still putting on weight, honestly.
Amen.
Day to day. The flex situation.
Going.
If you need some tidbits on how to make this work, I think you could ask any living, breathing adult woman what you should be putting in their body.
Williams, you can ask Zaire.
Yeah.
Zaire's made it look great.
Yeah, it's true, and getting that like massive calorie diet. But it is, I mean, when you look at it, so you look at it as those two, because some people are looking at it as like a 3-man draft or a 3.5-man draft, but in your opinion,
I look at it as a 4-man draft.
Okay.
But I think 1 and 2
There's separation.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think 1 and 2. No, just fit wise. Because I think Banchero he's probably my favorite guy in the whole draft. But I don't think he goes 1 or 2. I just don't see his skill set. He's more of a glue guy, and I really feel like Houston needs that because they are a hot mess.
They need hot glue. They need actual glue that creates a stick of a situation.
Yeah. And then Jaden Ivey comes, and in a lot of the mock drafts, he's 4th. But, like, does Sacramento keep their 4th pick? I would lean towards no. And then he's come out and said, I didn't not go to Sacramento because I didn't want to go there. I just, like, it worked out that way. But, like, did it?
What was that comment he had this past week where he's something along the lines of it wouldn't be the worst place?
Wouldn't be the worst
to
place.
end up, and it was like, wow, what a compliment.
I mean, to be fair, 4 and 5 right now for Ivy are Sacramento or Detroit. So, like, it's not like he's looking to go to a place anyone wants to be.
Okay, so when you look at the top 4 picks, or the top 4 choices with the top 4 teams, so you got, we got Orlando, Oklahoma City Thunder, Houston, and Sacramento. Is there, if it lays out the way, is there a team that will have the biggest impact of selecting some of that? I know you said that there's not that player who's going to be a franchise changing from what we see right now. We never know until we get there. But do you think that there is a player and a team that could very well have the most impact from selecting a player in the top 4 picks?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I would say either Orlando and Houston, simply because they were so bad last year. And I think if Orlando chooses Jabari Smith Jr., he makes an immediate impact. Not a huge one, but he can come in, NBA ready. He's got a good body, come in and make an impact. And then Houston, it's just a hot mess. I feel like, I honestly do feel like if Houston takes Banchero, they get a lot better. He's good size in the lane, he's good pick and roll, and he's just like a good human being who brings people together. And they need that so desperately with Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention is I didn't realize that Jalen Suggs and Chet Holmgren played AAU together. So that's another, like, we've seen how big relationships are with the Grizzlies. You see, like, Xavier and Jaren and all these guys. Like, that could be another factor.
Yeah.
That we didn't talk about when I was talking to the Orlando guy.
You think even with Banchero, because defensively is what they say, he really needs to take some leaps on, and Houston as a whole could really use to take some leaps. You just think you go all in, get better offensively, and then hope that something comes together.
If you have Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Banchero, your offense is, like, your backcourt is phenomenal. Or, like, very fast, very crafty. Outscore them.
Did Banchero ever address, like, or figure out the weight loss thing with how much sweat? Remember, like, that was a huge story when he was at Duke.
Wait, what?
When he played at Duke, Holly Rowe's, like, silent report was that Duke was doing studies on him because the amount of sweat that he sweats, he loses like 7 pounds during the game, and like that took off for like a couple of weeks. But I feel like we never like went back to it and said, when it comes to that, because all this conversation about Chet, I'm like, hey, no one talks about Banchero again about, is he still sweating off 7 pounds, and also how do you do that? But it was a condition that he did have, and Duke has the top doctors and scientists there, so they're doing some studies on him. Do you remember that?
Yes, and then I mean, like, God, they make it all the way to the Final Four. I feel like lost in the Coach K farewell tour is the fact that you had a player with a legitimate report in the middle of a game that, casually he loses 7 pounds a game because he sweats.
Imagine what he gets to eat after each game.
Yeah, it sounds great.
That's the dream.
Sounds like a solid
That's
thing.
the dream.
When you look at all the people you've talked to thus far in the lottery, and a player who you think could be the biggest surprise, someone who could either move up or someone who just stays in their projected range but ends up being, kind of the steal of this year's draft, who do you got?
I have two. One that I think Jeremy Sohan has moved his way up into a lottery pick. Apparently he's just had like amazing combines and workouts with teams. I guess one of the main things when he was in college was that he wasn't a great three-point shooter. He's worked on that. And then his defense, I think, is going to move him up in the lottery. For our draft with GCM, we have him at 14th, but even when I talked to the Cavs reporter, he was like, how is he not off the board yet? And I think he does slip a lot of people's minds, but I think he's going to make a surprise. And then shout out another fellow Canadian, Benedict Mathurin, I think is going to be the biggest steal. Because I feel like a lot of people are just forgetting about him, and he's going to be really good.
And then since you mentioned the word steal, we have to talk a little bit about the Grizzlies. I know we don't know what the Grizzlies will do. I know we're right behind them. Like, we know nothing. However, when you look at the Grizzlies roster, and we had such an amazing year, right? And I know things can change, and there's still some question marks with a lot of our players and figuring out what that does look like. I sit in a space because when I'm asked about the draft and the Grizzlies picks and what could happen and variable with like free agency and like signing guys and stuff, I look at it as, I think for like maybe last year I still felt this way, but for the ease that I feel, especially after seeing Kleiman make the picks that he has made, especially when it comes to like stealing guys with like Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman Sr., Desmond Bane being the biggest one of them all, I feel really good. I'm just like, regardless of like not knowing, and I know that there's certain things that we have to figure out with the roster, I feel really good. I'm like, I feel a sense of just like ease. I'm like, I trust. And having that faith and trust in someone, it's really hard. We've all dated, it's hard to find that. I feel good about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's proven himself as a GM who can, one, take risks, and two, make the risks worthwhile. So the Grizzlies have 22, 29. There's a billion options in terms of who they could pick or package and get something else. And we won't know. Like, you look at mock drafts for the first round, there is 12 billion names that are projected 22 and 29 because it's so far down. Like, it could be literally anyone. I think one of the people that has been like in multiple mock drafts is Nikola Jovic with a V.
Really gets me every time.
Yeah. I think why people are putting him there specifically is because he is a great corner 3-point shooter, like very specific. The Grizzlies have talked about wanting to get to that corner all season long. He's a project, but I guess he has a good personality. I don't know. When it gets down to this, you get less and less information. They have less workouts. And then I really like Andrew Nembhard, but again, I think that is indicative of free agency, which happens after. It's whether or not Tyus comes back. So it's all up in the air. I don't know. Or you could package, and like we talked about it on Vernon yesterday, like you package and try and move up and get someone like Jaden Ivey. So who knows?
Yeah, that's the thing that is so interesting. We talked with Mike yesterday, and he was saying, like, if he could be the czar of the NBA and rearrange the calendar, you would do free agency first and then the draft, because then you would know more specifically.
But then it's not as dramatic and fun.
And it doesn't add as much intrigue into all of it. But especially for a team like the Grizzlies, like what ends up happening with Tyus Jones is a massive piece to do you have a backup point guard or not? And I know yesterday the reports were that Kennedy Chandler just worked out for the Grizzlies, and he's another name that continues to float around. And do you really want a rookie backup point guard? You know, it's not the most preferable, but also like sucker for a great story. You get the hometown kid drafted by the hometown team, a kid who John Morant's been tweeting at for years at this point, and when he was over at Briarcrest, a 2-time Mr. Basketball in the state of Tennessee. Like, those kind of things are fun, but like you said, that's the whole point of the NBA draft. There's a gajillion names, and no one really knows anything except for the people up there.
There's no way that last year anyone was talking about Zaire for the Grizzlies. There's no way, and then it happens.
Shocker.
Yeah.
And it was one of those picks, too, where you're like looking at it and you're like, ooh, what did we just do? And then it works out. So that's where you get the trust part that Megan was talking about.
Yeah. And with the draft, I found it interesting because I was watching some of the like Warriors parade stuff, and then they kept reminding you, and don't forget we have the draft on Thursday, and like how quick it is. And I was listening to ESPN yesterday, and they're comparing how they're just like throwing up scenarios. It's off season. You're trying to find something to talk about. Throwing out something like how the NFL has such a very long build up to this, where the NFL, you see your Super Bowl champion mid-February now, and then you get a chance to build up to their draft in April. Like the broadcast, the TVs, they do all this promotion. For us, it is a quick, here we go, turnaround situation. Would you guys like to see something happen where maybe not coming after free agency, but a week or two? Or do you guys like how it's just like go, because it also gives us something to talk about and gives us work
Selfishly
to do.
for us, keep it coming.
I was going to say, you guys have stuff to talk about now.
Exactly. You go parade on Monday, draft on Thursday, all the pre-draft talk.
Imagine if it would have gone to Game 7.
It would have been so beautiful. Then you go straight into like mini camps coming up. You'll be able to talk to whoever the team takes, wherever you are in the league, and then you go straight into summer league. And so it creates this kind of like brick wall of content. I understand why they do it for that reason, because it does keep a continuous flow of the NBA remains in the conversation. It doesn't take a whole lot of work. It's not like even with the Stanley Cup final going on and Major League Baseball, people aren't desperate for content.
But for these young guys, like, look at the Warriors. They have so many young guys who might very well be playing on the summer league team. I have no idea. I don't know what James Wiseman's going to be doing. We hope to just be able to see him take a court eventually somewhere. Or Kuminga, will they be? They don't have much of a time off. I know they're not all teams. If you get there, that's your. I mean, you got the trophy. That's your celebration. That's what you get. I'm sure you're not like complaining about it. But there's so much. There's not a lot of time for some teams if you make it very far to like figure some things out.
Yeah, I've never really thought about the time in between. I just get so excited for draft night because it's so cheesy, but like these kids' dreams are coming true. I just saw, you know how like on Instagram you can do your archives and it's like, hey, this day, however many years ago. I was on it this morning and 3 years ago today, it was a draft and I was at a friend's draft party. Got drafted like in the late 40s or early 40s. And I just like, I'm so excited that it's coming soon because we get to like, you guys saw Jaden Ivey when he was here in high school? You're going to see his literal dreams come true in 3 days, 4 days.
That's going to be emotional. That's going to be emotional.
Right?
Like one for like Jaden and the other for like Niel. And we all know their story. We've had them on the show several times. We all have relationships with them. That right there would be a moment to like sit back. And when I was like, cannot wait for to see what Niel's wearing because you know she's going to bring it.
It's going to be a power suit. I can feel it.
Between Niel and Jaden, it's going to be style. And the style. That's the fashion
fun.
and the style. Because to see how the NBA and fashion has just like transcended over time, and it's like I feel it's like every single season you just get more and more and more. And so, who do we think is gonna be the stylish? What do you think Chet's gonna wear?
That's what I was just gonna ask. What is Chet? You've stalked his Instagram. What is Chet Holmgren's personal style? Does he have anything outside of basketball photos on his Instagram account?
No, I didn't see any like cool anything like great.
Watch him
I don't
stun.
know.
Watch him be like the best dressed of the night. Who makes? I mean, it has to be custom.
That has to be custom. That is definitely going to be. I mean, all the guys are going to be custom, but that one's going to be
Wear
a special
short
custom.
suit. Shock everyone.
Who do I think is
I
going
think
to be?
Jabari Smith.
Ben Caro's kind of cool too, though.
Jaden definitely, because I was just like he's already.
I feel like Jaden's going to be like classic cool though.
Classic cool.
He's not going to be like what's his face who had like the diamond suit last year. Like that was with the bell bottoms. Jalen Green, was that Jalen Green?
That was Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Jalen Green with Jaren. In Milan. There are all sorts of photos going on. I also think Shaedon Sharpe could be the guy because he's got attitude with it. Like he comes out yesterday and is another Canadian coming through. But he was like, definitively, I'm going to be the best player out of this draft. Someone with that kind of energy usually brings the outfit with
definitively, he's going to be the best player in the draft, according to him, having not played any college ball.
Amazing.
There's no film on this dude. He's like, no. You guys just you wait till I get in the NBA. He is absolutely going to be dressed real loud on draft day.
He's the most athletic guy in the draft, and I don't think that his time at Kentucky says much about him as a player. He very well could be. He had a great high school career, and I think things were handled poorly with adults in his life. Has nothing to do with him. So he should have that confidence. He's like, you know what? All these people who messed up my college,
I'm here for it.
It's my turn now.
We just watched Hustle. Did you watch Hustle? We just watched Hustle. You never know what could happen. I'm in that mindset.
Adam Sandler and Queen Latifah can be married. You never know what's going to happen in this world.
Find someone on the basketball court just playing some street ball.
No one's talking about how in that movie they were like, I don't know if he can do it, and he's literally the second best player in the entire gym. Like, wouldn't you take number 2? Everyone's like, I don't know. Can't beat Kermit.
Did you like Hustle?
Yes.
You liked it?
Okay. I liked it.
It's cute.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to win an Oscar, but that's not what it was for.
I was under the impression going into Hustle, everyone said, well, the one review that I read, Adam Sandler's going to be nominated.
Relax.
And I said, so I was going into that like,
the review was written by Adam Sandler.
It could have been. I watched it and said, it's cute. This could have been a made-for-TV movie. That's cute for kids.
It's made for Netflix. That's what they do now.
That's basically I thought it was cute. I enjoyed it. Like I sat there and was like, this is, I don't want to go and like walk my dog during the movie. I sit and watch the whole thing.
It was short enough too. It didn't. They really cut through the chase.
And
of
man,
a lot
like the cameos when they keep popping up randomly. I'm like, is that Jordan Clarkson? What are you doing here for half a second? Like it's cute. See? Cute's a good word. I liked it though.
Cute. A cute movie.
Cute. Still cute.
Gonna be a cute draft night on Thursday with everything. Kelcey, we're gonna have you on the Grind City Media Draft preview show that is on Wednesday. So we'll talk to you again about everything we just talked to you about, but more in depth.
More in depth. Make sure you check it out on Grind City Media, and also check out Kelcey's podcast. We just did it. It just came out this morning. Did an interview with Matt Barnes. You've been doing some interviews with former Grizzlies players, anyone associated with the Grizzlies. What can we expect from this?
Okay, so the Matt Barnes episode, I got him because he won a ring with the Warriors. We talked the day after the Warriors won. He's funny. He's very chill. He talks very highly about Tony Allen and Zebo, so I think Memphis fans will like that because they love them. And we relive some of his, he was only here for a season. We relive some of his, biggest plays or games. He talks about his first career triple-double at 36. He talks about that half-court shot that he took with, way too much time on the clock. It's funny. He's a good person.
Do you like reliving a lot of these moments with former Grizzlies players, and from someone who's you have moved to Memphis, you've been here now, it's your home. At this point, you're a Memphian. I say you're a Memphian. It's
a Canadian Memphian.
Damn, I don't. But okay.
Okay. We'll work on it. We're getting there. We'll work on it. But do you love hearing the stories about the city and about the team?
To be honest, I was with Hasseltine all last week, and I was asking him, I was like, what should I be asking Matt Barnes? I was obviously not here in 2015. What are the big things? And I like hearing other people who were there reliving it and then relaying that to players and then being because they've done, Matt Barnes, he's done so much. He doesn't, think about his buzzer beater against Detroit. Hasseltine does. The broadcasters do.
He relives that call.
Yeah.
Constantly at this point.
So I think that's the cool thing is that I get to see the passion from people who are here who loved the Grizzlies and then relay that and be man, people are still talking about that, Matt. How does that make you feel? And I like hearing that, being man, I
forgot about, he probably forgot about it.
Well, he said that specific play, ESPN or whoever replays it once a year on the anniversary, and he's there's worse things that people could be talking about, LOL. So he was fine with it.
This is Matt. There is.
True. All right, going into the summer though with your podcast, is there one person, any kind of person, whatever they do, that's your dream podcast get that we need to start the campaign for now?
And I have them. I have them lined up, sis.
Okay. All right. Secrets.
I can't give anything away. So the off season, for people who have not listened, is all retired former Grizzlies. That's all we can get. So keep in mind who's retired, who's not in the league anymore, and who Memphis loves.
Ooh.
Every other week we'll be here.
All right, got some names already in my head.
See,
two guys we all love.
It's not Pau Gasol. I can't get a hold of him.
What about
I don't know where he is.
It's technically not retired.
From the NBA.
Just won a big game.
I can't interview anyone who is currently on an NBA roster on someone else. So I couldn't go talk to Rudy Gay. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Got it.
Okay.
Parameters. All
Yeah.
right.
I like it.
Thanks, Kelcey, for getting up early.
I'm gonna go across the
summer
Starbucks.
Tuesday.
You guys want anything?
No, I've got my coffee.
Good?
I'm good. Thank you.
We're good. Thank you. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back, get into some off the grind news. Still ahead here on Rise and Grind.
Don't miss a minute of Grizzlies basketball down the stretch with Bally Sports Southeast. Watch on UVerse, channel 1727, DirecTV, channel 649-2, and Xfinity, channel 1251. Or stream it live on the Bally Sports app. And for real-time Grizzlies news and updates, follow @GrizzOnBally on Twitter. Bally Sports Southeast, home of your Memphis Grizzlies.
Looking for the perfect, healthy, and fun party snack for game day? Each Puka plantain strip is hand-picked at its peak ripeness, perfectly hand-sliced and full of vitamin A, C, and B6, along with essential minerals, magnesium, and potassium. Puka plantain strips are gluten-free, vegan, and paleo-friendly. Pick up a bag of Puka plantain strips today, available now at Super Low Foods. Super Low Foods is a proud partner of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Hey, here's your 4 grilled cheese double burgers. Enjoy your Sonic.
So, could you ever overachieve something?
Can you overachieve?
No, not overachieve. Overachieve.
What do you get when you combine 2 cheesy, craveable classics? The Sonic Grilled Cheese Double Burger. Made with 3 slices of melty American cheese layered between 2 100% pure seasoned beef patties and held together by thick Texas toast. Try one half price when you order in the Sonic app. Exclusions apply. See app for details. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the corner. Let's catch you up on the penalty box. Excuse me. Let's get you up on a hockey story you may have missed. The NHL has recognized Lane Hutson as the recipient of the 2022 E.J. Maguire Award of Excellence. The award is annually presented to a candidate who exemplifies a commitment to excellence through strength of character, competitiveness, and athleticism. Hudson is an 18-year-old defenseman from Holland, Michigan, who is part of USA Hockey's national team development program under 18 this past season. He recorded a team-high 53 assists in 60 games, along with 10 goals. Hudson was also named Best Defenseman at the 2022 Under 18 World Championship, where he helped Team USA secure a silver medal. Hudson is the 25th ranked North American skater for the upcoming 2022 NHL Draft. All right, let's get this show rolling. We got some more off the grind stuff to talk about next up on Rise and Grind.
Socios is the first of its kind in fan influence and rewards. Through the Socios app, you can influence the team you love, connect with other fans, trade, and compete for rewards. Socios.com is the official crypto wallet and trading exchange for some of the biggest sports teams and franchises in the world, like FC Barcelona, Juventus, the UFC, and now they are an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum. Download the Socios app wherever you download your apps, create an account, participate, and win.
Taco Bell has all the classic flavors you're craving. Order them ahead on the Taco Bell app for quick pickup in the drive-thru, or get them delivered right to your door. Are you a true Taco Bell fan? Join our team and eat for free, plus score flexible hours, scholarships, and more. Apply at jobs.tacobell.com today. Hours and participation may vary by location. Additional terms and fees may apply. Franchisees are independent operators and are responsible for their own employment practices and benefits.
Memphis fans can now enhance each moment of their day with the refreshingly luxurious taste of Cintron sparkling flavored energy beverages, served exclusively at FedEx Forum. Cintron World is a lifestyle beverage brand inspiring everyone to create their lives with intention, energy, and style. As the official partner of the Grizzlies, Cintron is offering a 10% discount on your next online order when you use promo code Grizzlies10 at CintronWorld.com. And follow the lifestyle on social at Cintron World. Drink it, live it.
Welcome back to the show. Let's hit some off the grind news that we didn't get a chance to get to from earlier. And did you guys talk about Kyrie Irving yesterday? Did that come out before? Did that come out after?
No, I meant to send it for today.
Yeah, like let's start in the NBA and talk about Kyrie, because we learned that yesterday. Reports are saying that the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving, they're at a crossroads right now, and I think talks have, like, at this point they're not going great. And we all know what Kyrie could be worth, what he could sign for, and this could very well open up the opening for his free agency to maybe sign somewhere else. And what team do you think was one of the teams that was listed as a potential
Oh my
spot?
gosh, the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's cue all of the conversations of could LeBron and Kyrie come back together again? Ooh, it's the offseason.
LeBron and Kyrie, to get that deal done, that means Westbrook and Durant get back together.
It's true.
Let's go.
Seeing that graphic pop up on my timeline yesterday, I was like, oh God, here we go. Here we go. I don't know. My thing with it is, obviously the money part of it becomes a complication. So there's the June 29th deadline for Kyrie to accept a $36.9 million player option. So it's unlikely he becomes a true free agent, which means that few teams have the cap space to sign him to a max contract this offseason. So, like, financially, you have to figure out if a sign and trade works. So it was the Lakers, Knicks, and wasn't there one other team that Shams had in that mix?
All I saw was the Lakers, and that stopped me in my tracks. I said, no. Am I going to have to talk about LeBron and Kyrie maybe potentially coming back together for the next 3 weeks over and over again?
Yes.
Great.
Yes. It starts today. I guess it technically started yesterday. It's just one of those things where it's like, if you're the Lakers, you're looking for, in my opinion, any sort of stability.
Yeah.
Less drama, less is this player going to actually play games for us or not? And when you look at Kyrie Irving, He only played 103 games over the last 3 seasons. That's a concern. You can't push all your chips again for someone who might not be a contributor.
Well, next year will be different.
That's
like,
what he
right?
says every year.
Well, next year will be different from the sense of the pandemic. You know, I don't know what.
We don't know what they're gonna do.
We don't know what they're gonna do. If you're looking at the rest of the world at this point, you're not even wearing masks on airplanes anymore. So I just feel at this point that like that's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be much of a factor maybe next season, but you never know. And if you go to LA, I just think now at this point, anything that involves, and it's no knock, but anything that involves LeBron, the Lakers, there's going to be drama with it. Regardless of where they choose to go, regardless of who stays, who doesn't come, that's just what comes. That's going to come with the territory that they have put themselves in right now, especially coming off of last season. And it's not just LeBron, but it's Anthony Davis as well. And so, like, it's going to be drama. Is this the additional drama that you are going to want to hold on to and keep? If Kyrie goes somewhere else, I guess in my sense, like, the Lakers would be probably the easiest transition for him personally. I'm not gonna say when it comes on the court. Personally, I feel as if there's anybody who can probably deal and talk to Kyrie and get to Kyrie, especially when it comes to, if you go back to 2 years ago, from personal things and like not showing up, or not showing up, but saying that he's not going to come for personal reasons and not play for personal reasons. We never really quite understood. We never got that concept his first year with the Nets when there was no pandemic, and we never understood that. Who can probably call Kyrie and maybe like get to him is probably LeBron. KD couldn't do it. Right, KD couldn't do it. Steve Nash couldn't do it. James Harden couldn't do it. I think of all the people, maybe LeBron could give him stability more. I think that might be an easier transition. When it comes to on the court, I don't know if Kyrie Irving is the answer to see Kyrie and LeBron playing back together again. I mean, and maybe because there's so many other roster moves and money involved, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that again. I'm like, oh, really?
LeBron can't help Kyrie.
You don't
Kyrie,
think,
no, nobody can. No.
Kyrie's
Remember when Kyrie and LeBron were in Cleveland, how LeBron James was routinely running to Twitter to subtweet stuff that was going on in the locker room?
But I think they've learned. LeBron doesn't do that now.
LeBron doesn't deal with Kyrie. Kyrie is a lot to try and rein in. Nobody can do that.
Is Kyrie worse than what the Lakers have done in the last 2 years? Like
He's a better basketball fit. The locker room was fine. It was the basketball fit of Russell Westbrook that I thought was the problem.
He's a better basketball fit, but could nuke a locker room.
I don't know if he
I don't think he
nukes
can do it anymore. I think LeBron's different. Like, LeBron is like different. I think Kyrie's different too. I'm not saying Kyrie wouldn't give you drama. Well, I think he's gonna give you that. But of all the other teams, of all the other players, who is the best to rein him in? It's gotta be LeBron. I can't think of. You go to New York Knicks, that's not going to help you out at all. You're just going across the bridge. No. And that's not going to work. That's not going to, you think, what, great drama or great for him?
Great for him. Thibodeau, Kyrie, like that would work. That would
Kyrie's not
absolutely
going to show up
work.
one day.
That's fine. Then he'd be cut. Like that's why it would work, because you're not letting Kyrie Irving do Kyrie things. If you're leaning on some type of player leadership to rein Kyrie in, it's not going to work. LeBron didn't do it. In Cleveland, they won, but it wasn't because LeBron reined Kyrie in. They couldn't rein him in Boston. You see, he handpicked the teammates he wanted to play with, and James Harden was like, "Get me the bleep out of here." And Kevin Durant's like, "Yo, dog, whatever. Kyrie's got to go." So nobody can. Players can't do that. You have to have an infrastructure in place that says, "Hey, no, we're not dealing with this. Keep your third eye closed. Get your ass out there and hoop. If you don't want to do that, get out." And I think a coach like Thibodeau can get that done. But after thinking about it, I forgot who the owner was for the Knicks. And that's not going to work either. It's just not.
You talk yourself out of it mid-sentence.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Dolan and Kyrie? Are you kidding? Knicks fans don't deserve both of them. They deserve bad things. They don't deserve both of them.
So it'd be interesting. Look, right now we don't know what's going to happen, but the fact that that's even out there, I'm like, oh, great. Here we go.
His career path has been more chaotic than anyone's.
And he's too good for it to be that way.
That's the thing. It'd be one thing. Like, he still arguably has the best handle. He's a shooter.
At one point, it wasn't. Here's the thing. We said, like, it's been the most chaotic. At one point, it wasn't that chaotic. Let's not think back to happier times
with the Cavs.
At one point, but the Cavs towards the end of it. The end of it was where it all started, where we all didn't know about it till that last year. It was like, oh, what's going on between Kyrie and LeBron? And then when Kyrie left, that's when it all started to crumble. At the beginning stages of Kyrie and LeBron, it was good. If they can get back to like when it was good and not letting. And I do think that there's a lot of ego involved. I'm not saying Kyrie's there. I'm not saying Kyrie's there. But I think if you're looking around the league, I think everyone is sitting in a situation now because I think we can all agree a lot of people didn't think the Warriors could get here again. And if you're looking around the league, and if you gotta start taking note. Like you gotta just start taking down notes and like studying those notes too. If you are taking notes, I'm not saying Kyrie is. I don't believe this when I say it. He probably is not doing this. But if you're a smart basketball player, you have the right people around you, if you're looking at what the Warriors have done and what other teams have done, but particularly the Warriors, especially in the last 8 years, the ego had to go. This could be a team that were they could have crumbled because of ego between Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and now you're looking at Jordan Poole. They have a lot of things that they're going to have to figure out moving forward. Jordan Poole wants to get paid. And Wiggins, people want to get paid. And we've seen, even when KD came over to the Warriors, what you have to do to adjust the ego status of where you want to play. And I'll even say with the Cleveland Cavaliers, with LeBron, Kyrie, we've seen with Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, LeBron. It has worked with where you have to adjust yourself. Hopefully, Kyrie wants to adjust himself. And I think that other players are looking around and saying, okay, how are we going to get here? The ego can't be the problem. And if he can figure that little tiny thing out, which I think that he can. He at one point did it. He one time did it. It's just been the last couple of years. It's like, what have you done for me lately? Drama. You can get back there. I do think he can get back there.
In the right.
He's getting older.
It doesn't matter. He's getting older.
Sometimes when you get older, you become
more stubborn, more stuck in your way.
No, he wants a ring.
Embedded in how you. I'm not saying he doesn't want a ring because he's a competitor and so that's constantly sitting there, but he just hasn't shown that he's willing to bend at all. He just had a great chance at going after a ring. That was the whole reason of syncing up with Kevin Durant and originally James Harden, and then now Ben Simmons.
So if you can put the personal stuff, it's he's always had personal things. And I'm not saying that they won't follow, but I do think that even though I don't agree with some of his actions and some of his beliefs, I can't knock the personal stuff for him. It's if you can figure out the personal stuff, we know that he's in a happy relationship, he's a father, and we are getting on a different side of the pandemic of what we're trying to so maybe he can get back to old Kyrie, old Kyrie of just being I can figure out my personal life and I'm in a very happier space, where then maybe I can sometimes, I don't know the man, but sometimes when things off the court aren't great and you're trying to figure out some things, it just starts to go over into your work life, and hopefully he can get there. I have hope.
I really like your face.
After calling LeBron James, he called LeBron James 2018 to apologize for his behavior in Cleveland, and when
they got through that though.
And then he comes right back in 2020 and says, "Hey, Kevin Durant's the first basketball player I can defer to late."
And they got through that as well.
They didn't get through
that.
They did. Did they?
They got through that. So they're
all right. But if we constantly have to get through things because you're the one constantly taking jabs at me, eventually I'm gonna be no, I don't want to deal with that. He is a much better basketball fit for the Lakers. Kyrie instead of Russell Westbrook at the point makes the Lakers, I think,
better.
A playoff better, a top 6 team. Right?
If Anthony Davis is healthy. If he's healthy.
Regardless of what Anthony Davis does, Kyrie and LeBron are absolutely good enough to get you a 5 or a 6 seed. Add Anthony Davis in there, and we can talk about
Rasheed
4
Wallace
and
to the
3rd.
coaching mix. My goodness, this is going to be a locker room that I would love to be a fly on the wall in.
I just want best for Darvin Ham. I just want him to be able.
It's not happening yet, Jessica.
Into this. I know.
Don't worry.
We're going to be talking about it for the next.
What do you think Kevin Durant feels or is thinking?
Good.
Right. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a relief in this situation. But
Kevin Durant in the Letterman show. That was a good episode to watch.
Really? I watched Billie Eilish yesterday, so that one was good.
Okay, I'm going to have to watch. I love listening to Kevin Durant.
I don't. When he drops my next guest is a show on Netflix, I just click on the ones I'm interested in. So I skip Billie Eilish.
I'm more curious, what Kevin Durant just is feeling like watching the Warriors achieve another championship. you would just think that there has to be some level, because things have not gone as planned in Brooklyn for Kevin Durant. And, like, he could have been there. He could have been on Easy Street to, like, infinite rings. The Warriors wouldn't have had the drop-off that they had. The Warriors would have had Kevin Durant and Steph Curry into their primes, just being freaking terrorizers of the league for years. And now Kevin Durant hasn't gotten to taste that yet. So.
It was a waste. Those 3 years were at this point where how you feel like it was like a waste.
Yeah.
You think about the only team that got swept this series, Brooklyn.
And then it goes back to the Kyrie, and if Kyrie had been healthy and if Kyrie had played and if he had not had to deal with the vaccine mandate,
right,
they could have had it all.
And we know KD and Steph, like, even though they like the Warriors, they have like they're like, you know, you can have complicated relationships, but I'm sure it is hard to see. For them, it was always like, well, they had to get it there again with KD to get there too, to make it 3, and now you see what they were able to do and get around the team that you could not even get around. I'm not saying, like, I believe in everyone's, like, I believe in, like, I really do, when I say this, I really do believe that you can't look at everyone else's life and blessings and, like, you know, harp on it and think about look what they have, because, you know, what God has for you will be for you. That's my advice. However, if you were for a quick second to dwindle over into that, we all have those moments. What could have been, your team, you got swept by the Boston Celtics, and the team that you left to go form another super team just beat the Boston Celtics and were able to, you know, get past to them. And you couldn't even get one win. That's gotta feel some way. But God has things for you, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But I'm back.
And it's a life free of Kyrie Irving, perhaps.
Right, I'm back.
And maybe hopefully Ben Simmons playing basketball.
Oh, forgot about him. I have been following his fiance. She is like, she's kind of cool.
Oh.
Yeah. Her ring is beautiful, so I just want to look at the ring more.
Maybe he's in a good place, personally.
She seems to be in a really good place. So
then that can lead to positive mentals across the board.
But Ben ain't the answer. You gotta find somebody else. If Kyrie's gone, like that's my thing is for KD. I think KD can do a lot.
They're not a big two of KD
no.
Ben Simmons.
You're gonna have to. Who can.
You don't have to do anything. If you can move Kyrie without giving up a Harris or a Seth Curry,
right?
You're good. There's shooters around. No, you got shooters around. You got Kevin Durant and you got Ben Simmons playing defense.
5 players.
That's
out there,
great.
So you need somebody.
That is the mathematics of basketball.
You don't gotta be Kyrie Irving size. You're gonna have to have someone to just like we all
throw Andre Drummond's ass back out there. He's not doing anything. Let's go.
That guy could get a rebound though. My goodness, that guy could get a rebound.
There you go.
We see what Kevin Looney just did, getting rebounds for you. And Wiggins.
That's all you need.
Ego's gotta go. Anyway,
ego's gotta go is the biggest for every piece of that conversation we just had.
Yeah, the only person's ego who can stay. Beyonce, and I've been waiting to talk about it because hers can be all the way up there. No one has to adjust. But let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will be talking about Beyonce because she dropped a song last night. And for us members of the Beehive, not CJ, but Jessica and myself, we cannot wait to talk about it.
Sorry, CJ.
I don't want to be in it.
Grizz fans, the official Grizzlies mobile app is your key to the game. It's an all-in-one experience updated with even more functionality. You can keep track of a team with news, social media, the schedule, stats, and the standings. And you can log into Grind City Media to watch and listen live to streaming content like The Chris Vernon Show and Rise and Grind. You can check out Grind City Media articles, videos, podcasts, and GCM talent. See what's going on right here at FedEx Forum with our concert and event calendar. Plus, you can find detailed information on seating and concessions with arena maps. You can take the app into FedEx Forum as your mobile wallet, use it as your ticket to the game for Grizz Den mobile pickup, and as contact-free payment for arena concessions. The official Grizzlies mobile app, your key to the game.
CJ, what have you learned this week?
Sometimes you just got to lean in with the storyline and just put money on the story. Coach K playing UNC in the Final Four.
Speaking of Hubert Davis, his team, they're an 8th seed.
I kind of want UNC to win. Also, if they both lost the game, I wouldn't care.
Get your sports betting picks and trends with Lang Whitaker and Rob Fisher, The Odds Couple. Fridays on grindcitymedia.com and YouTube.
South Carolina took down UConn. We have to give it up for Destiny Henderson. She was amazing for this group.
It was her destiny.
Yeah.
And shout out to women's basketball, too, for having the 4 10-minute quarters. Men's basketball, get it together.
Join me, Megan Triplett, and John Roser every Monday as we discuss our favorite 3 topics and give you our stances from stories from the weekend that was. It's 3 Point Stance weekly on GrindCityMedia.com and on YouTube.
Let's talk about all defensive teams.
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yep.
Because he
block
blocks
shots.
everything,
The
total
Block Panther.
blocks and blocks per game. I also have Matisse Thybulle.
And the Philadelphia 76ers, who leads the NBA by a wide margin, actually, I found this stat today, in blocked 3-point shots.
Join Lang Whitaker and me, Kelcey Wright-Johnson, every Thursday as we debate the hottest topics in the NBA. IMHO on GrindCityMedia.com, YouTube, and our social channels.
Rise and grind. It is time for Pop in the Morning. It is time for probably the most important conversation of the day, which is Beyonce has new music. We learned that Renaissance is, of course, coming out as a whole in July, on July 29th. But yesterday, the first single dropped, Break My Soul. It came out a little bit before midnight, which was great because I was able to go to bed. And I love it.
Yeah.
It's been stuck in my head since I heard it. I woke up singing it. I walked to work listening to it. It hits in a good spot.
Yeah, I worked out this morning listening to it probably way too many times. I will say last night when I listened to it the first time, it didn't resonate yet with my heart, right? And then I played it again the second time last night, and then it got there. And then by the third time I was like, oh, this is good. And then I first listened to it with I listened to music with my eyes closed, and then I listened to it reading the lyrics. The video you can see the lyrics,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I really really like this, and this is going to be a great workout song. It's going to be the next H&M song when you walk in shopping, or if you take a Pure Barre or Cycle Bar class. It's perfect for that. It's really good. I don't know why it took me a second, but it's good. I know CJ has other thoughts on it.
It's just not. It's not for me. Everything I've accepted the fact that everything
Yeah.
by everybody at all times is not for me. This is not a song for me. I told y'all the songs I'm here for. When she gets ready to cater to a dude or do something nasty with a dude, I am here for that. All the rest of it, y'all keep.
Not the empowerment song. Maybe
Yeah,
quit
a
your
nice
job
little,
and
dance
you're not gonna
shade.
break my soul. It's a little combination of both.
Yeah, it has some disco vibes to
Yes.
it, which I really like. CJ, release your anger.
What?
Release your mind. Release your job.
Is
Release
that the name? Are those the lyrics?
Release your trade. Release the stress. Release the love. Forget the rest. How can that not? That's universal. It's beautiful.
She didn't mention taking me to Red Lobster, so I'm not into it.
Do we think there's Do we think that there is a? I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna move
Moving
on.
right
I
along.
didn't see that. Do we think that there is a music battle right now with her and Drake with the house music, and
This is
it's
better.
different
This
levels
is significantly
No,
better.
Look, I don't loathe Drake's album. I don't
No,
loathe
we
it.
talked about it
I
yesterday.
I don't
It's
loathe
fine.
it. I have 5 or 6 songs that I really like, and there's some that I just hit the skip button. I don't loathe it. It's just different. I think when artists do something very very different, it's not going to be the club banger. And I like house music, so that's a lane that I have a relax station where I've picked all my house music that I love. And I also think about me owning a boutique one day when I get older and retire, and I feel
Having
the
that
music that I
instance
chose, that I
behind it.
choose for
Yeah.
it, right? I get to help pick out your dress. Oh, girl, I pulled this for you. That's what I love. So I don't love it, but I do think the timing of everything, how it's happening. Do we feel like there's maybe it's just something there? I feel like something might have been playing. I think Drake saw. I don't know. Here's how I pictured. I love Drake, but I love Beyonce even more. Drake might have gotten word Beyonce's doing this house album. If you want to drop something, you don't want to come after that, right? Beyonce's already starting this thing because we know how the Beehive works. This is her. She hasn't dropped a studio album, solo act since in 6 years. We know when Beyonce comes, we come a flocking. Same thing for Drake, but you better get ahead of it. So Drake drops his a little earlier than I think he expected. I think anticipated. I think it was probably a little too soon. He could have tweaked a couple of songs a little bit better. then you see the Beyonce sees that Drake doing. Oh, you trying to one up on me, dude? Like what you don't know? Like I'm
It's a
Beyonce.
Tuesday. Let's put a song
right.
out.
I'm yes. And then Beyonce's publicist, it's not confirmed, but Beyonce's publicist posted on her Instagram. All it said was Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday. So we're thinking that okay, Tuesday at midnight we got one song. Are we going to get another song Friday at midnight? Are we going to drop another one on Tuesday? Because we're all going to forget about Drake's house. If Beyonce's going this range, it's going to be something. I don't know if there's something there, but I just feel like there's some PR-ness going on.
I think it's smart. I mean, if you're an artist and you find out Beyonce's releasing new music,
you better hurry.
You're calling your label, whoever you need to get things done, and say, "Can we move up?" There's no point in releasing music in the weeks following a Beyonce release. It's just not. And especially when you have, I personally love it. I haven't seen like the main response to this new song. I love it.
People loving it. People are loving it.
Okay, good. Then there's some love going on with it. And like, it just hits in a good spot. It's the first day of summer. It's just got good energy behind it. And it makes me really excited for what could be next when it comes to like, what's the overall vibe of this album? That set a good tone for me. That's something that I wanted.
It's it's always hard to get the first single. Like to choose a single that you want to be like the first impression of an album. This was good, and I feel as if like it's good. It's so good that you know that there's even more.
Yes.
It's not Beyonce.
She wouldn't give the best.
And it's not the Beyonce level just yet, especially vocally. So you're like, oh, you're waiting, you're sitting on it. So I don't know if the maybe the publicist is like teasing something else, but the thing said Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday. So we might get another one on Friday, which I'm just like, that happens. Like Beyonce's out here trying to bless our lives, like for real. And I'm like, please bless me. Yeah. Like all the blessings, I need all the blessings in life. So I love that Beyonce is doing this for us at the right time, at the right moment of life too.
Yeah. Just as we need things to fill the space.
Yes.
To come out of everything. Like that's the thing. That was my thing with, I don't hate the new Drake album either. And like first listen through, you're just like, oh, this is different. And then second listen through, you find some tracks. Like I really like Massive. Big fan. It doesn't like inspire me. Like I didn't wake up being like, yes, I loved that Drake song.
Right.
This I woke up and I was like, I want to listen to the Beyonce song again. That's fun. We haven't had a song like that in a second.
I don't think Drake ever. Well, I'm not gonna say this. Drake the inspiring thing. I don't think that's Drake's avenue.
Not inspiring, but just like makes you music that makes you feel good on first or second listen.
I think honestly, Beyonce could put out.
She could put out the ABCs, and I'd be sitting here being like, yes,
I would be saying,
please remind me how those
Beyonce
letters go.
Beyonce could say the Z different. I'm like, well, she said the Z, and it was like Z. I'm doing that now. If Beyonce could do anything,
We're all now saying
I'm well aware. I'm so biased. Like Beyonce could honestly do anything, but I will say for what she did do, I really do like it. I really love it. It makes me really excited for what Renaissance could be, and also makes you if you need to start saving your money now. That $40 box was a good deal. I thought it was a great deal. I did not buy it.
I didn't either.
I probably will though. I just want to see the pictures. I think she's gonna have enough. I just want to see. I want to see what my shirt's gonna say, and what the pose is gonna be. Because I want Beyonce like the opener thing.
We also have a show where you can wear T-shirts. So
right, but that'd be appropriate. So I want something that's gonna like work with my mood. But I'm just talking about the tour. The tour's gonna come eventually or sometime at some point. So you gotta start saving that money because Beyonce's concert tickets. I've been there, done it. It's not the cheapest. So here's the moment. If I'm really gonna like it, start saving that money now. Get your girls together and say we're gonna go to whatever location because it's always better to go somewhere to go to a concert. So that's what I was already thinking about.
Yeah.
Fellas, get your guys together and post up right outside and see if you can't pull one.
No, fellas, get the ticket.
That's true. Get a ticket and invite us. That is true.
Whoa.
You're not saying no.
I understand.
Sure
I understand that. Fellas, if that is your lady or a potential lady, absolutely get her the tickets to post up. I'm thinking about the ones that is single and ladyless this summer for Hoochie Daddy Summer.
You know the potential. Everyone has potential.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
It's what you do with that potential.
No.
Yes, there's levels of potential.
Potential is limitless.
There is. Everyone has potential. Okay, CJ.
How do you say everyone has potential? Everyone you've talked to has potential?
Everyone has potential.
You've never just talked to somebody because you ain't had nothing else to do?
Everyone has the potential, but our potentials might not be on the same playing field, on the same level. My potential might be like up here. Your potential might be down here, but everyone has it.
Right.
It's what you do with it. I didn't say
you don't always do what's
right.
meant. Like, a la, what did Tristan Thompson do with all of his potential?
No, I don't know. Well, that's probably an exception. You know, like that's an exception of like the potential is gone.
The potential was there.
Mhm.
Megan, we
Was
talked
it,
about this
though?
yesterday. I don't know. Big news, watched my first full episode of
Oh, did you?
The Kardashians.
The last episode?
I sure did. I knew you weren't going to be here Monday. I wanted to be prepared,
Okay.
primed, prepped, ready to go. And it was good because then you have like Tristan Thompson and the music, Falling Back music
Right.
video, and then the pictures of Tristan and Khloe with his arm on her and like the whole
Mhm.
family luncheon after the dance recital. Are they back together?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
What did you make of the arm on the back?
It was Father's Day. I'm taking you to lunch, and the nannies are here. My mom is here. We're doing lunch at. In my opinion, it was like not like the nicest at the restaurant. So it's like it was good.
Okay.
It wasn't just like a 5-star restaurant. So we're going here after a dance recital.
And it was you thought the whole family lessened it. I thought the whole family. I was shocked that like, the family
lessened
wants
it.
to hang out with them.
No, if it's solo. The thing about it, if it's like someone, me and True want to take you out to dinner. You got my mom aiming it. The nannies were there.
But you have to get the mom back.
It's
in your
just a
good
big
graces
table.
along the
What do you want to
way.
eat? What do you want to eat? Okay, come on, kids. That was such a great dance recital.
You think it was just co-parenting to the nth degree?
And then she wore that black Skims dress, which I'm like, I actually looked up that dress because it looked so good on her. It was only $78, which I was like,
I just bought a Skims
Consider.
Tank top.
Tank
I
top?
should be getting here.
That
today
that black dress.
Watching
she
the
had on,
Kardashians influenced me. That's literally what happened. Everything that they were wearing on that show,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I need to get more Skims. Oh, I need to get more.
But don't
of
forget,
that.
they also get those things like altered to like go into their bodies because that's what they want to do. I mean, like, the cinch at the waist. But I will say that's a really great dress to get for your vacation. Because
that's what I was
from what I read, it's very lightweight and very
Travels
throw it
well.
on, and
Yeah.
then you just throw some heels or some kicks with it and make it really cute. So I recommend getting that for your honeymoon.
Thank
$78. It's not bad.
It's not. Could be worse.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think they're together.
Okay.
I think at this point, no, no, definitely not.
Does she ever go back to him?
No, no.
I'm new in this world.
It's different than cheating. You got someone pregnant. And you know, some people
Still has not met the baby.
And that's also like that. That's also the part
Yeah.
that, and if that is true, because I always think people can
Reportedly.
yeah. If that is true, that's a reflection of like, don't forget, like when you talk about like marriage and stuff. These are all reflections on you. You know the baby's
Yeah.
yours. Like you put it on Instagram. I would be saying allegedly, but you put it on Instagram. The baby's yours, so I can say the child is yours. I wouldn't. And Father's Day weekend, like all that. Like me personally, I could not. I can forgive I'm a forgiving person. I've forgiven a lot of things I should not have ever forgiven.
Yes.
Been there. I don't knock Khloe for that. But however, I cannot look past like what you want in a husband, and if and that's how you move. No, that ain't for me because that's your child. If that is true, I just look at you differently. If that is true, so you said potential. I'm like the potential. What's it like? Go with your child. If that is true.
If that is
It's already
true.
public, so yeah. But let's keep talking about
Yes.
Tristan Thompson because Iman Shumpert was on Watch What Happens Live, which is like such a really great combination. He came on after Real Housewives of Atlanta, which I'm now starting to get into. So yeah, that's another show I'm getting involved in. He was on Watch What Happens Live, and a fan asked him an amazing question. I love when fans ask great questions. Was very, very relevant to him. Take a listen. Not that we needed to know,
but I appreciate the information.
Right, I do appreciate it because you go back into your head where it's like, I'm happy that, because I would have forgotten about that whole entire thing. So I'm happy the fan asked the question because if you go back into it, where when all that went down, we were all thinking like, what are the guys like? You know, this is so public. And Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor, Tiana Taylor has modeled for Yeezy. They have modeled for their daughter has modeled for Skims. They're very close to the Kardashians, so I cannot even remember. I can't even think about what do the guys think in the locker room. Like, dude, You publicly.
What are you doing?
Right.
Like, why do you keep stepping in this?
Yes.
Why can't you get it together? I would love more answers. I would love more NBA players to go on Watch What Happens Live.
That's a great show, right?
I don't watch it all the time. I just generally
It's
watch
great.
the good clips that you send that we end up talking about. But I am intrigued by it enough that like they get them in such a comfortable space where that didn't feel weird at all. It was just an answer. It was an answer to a question.
Well, AD's smart. It's late night. They do
Yeah.
They do shot skis. So they do shots. Which we should get a shot ski.
We should do shots
buy
on
a
the
shot.
show.
A tea for me. You
Yeah,
guys,
of tea.
I don't think.
Exactly,
I always think
CJ.
Andy does not have. Like, I feel like the he does it for. He does
No,
it
he
5
probably does
days
like a
week.
half-sea.
I feel as if it's like just water in hand. So we can do it for me, and I'll just pretend. Like okay.
A hot
I
toddy
can
is
do
a
that
tea.
look.
We can absolutely do tea.
A little Kahlua. Coffee. Yeah.
Shots of espresso. Ooh. I've never had espresso, but I've always wanted to say that.
You've never had espresso?
No.
Oh, it'll keep you up, homie. It'll
Yeah.
keep you up for 9-10 hours.
See, that might be interesting. It might be more fun.
Something different. I've got to get through the summer somehow. We'll just take espresso
Yes.
shots on the show. What will be next in the Tristan Thompson world?
Gosh.
Okay, wait. Is there another episode of the Kardashians this week, or was that like a breaking point?
That was the season finale.
That's so stupid because the whole reason,
Yeah.
not the whole reason I watched for the Tristan Thompson piece because you teased it earlier in the morning. But then it was also supposed to be the Pete Davidson debut, and then all we got was that
All we
stupid
got.
post-credit, like Marvel style
That was cute,
vagina
though.
conversation. It was not cute. That was the strangest way for somebody to make their debut on a show.
I thought it was cute. I was like, dang. I thought it was brilliant, like PR. Like, dang, those producers got us.
Yes,
like
they
that was
did.
brilliant. That was like a really smart move. I will say I'm disappointed with this Kardashian season as a whole, though.
Good to
like
know.
you guys like talked all this talk about how it's gonna be different, and it's gonna
same.
be like a documentary style type of thing, and like you're gonna get to know more about individuals, and like it was legit this Keeping Up with the Kardashians just on Hulu, and you got more money for it.
And
But-
watching Kris Jenner record Jingle Bells.
right, and you're still staging a lot of things. I think
The
a lot
meeting
of,
was staged.
The meeting-
the
I think-
family meeting.
I think that was staged. I think how they found out was staged. I really wholeheartedly believe. Like, I don't.
Like they didn't read a Page 6 article. Like
I didn't read
found-
Page 6 article.
No, that I thought that's how they were claiming that. Like Kim read the Page 6 article called Chris.
And she found out. I think it was staged. And you're just gonna work out. You guys all live in the same neighborhood. You guys all live in the same neighborhood, and you find out that the man that your sister is potentially, starting her life with, her future with, or another life. Well, she's done it several times before now at this point. And you just keep working out. You live in the same neighborhood.
You
I
go
asked him
over.
on that. Like, how would you tell me? Would
In
you tell me
person.
about this on a text message? You text her while she's sleeping? That's not a way to wake up. No.
It's a hell of a way to
And
wake
you're in the
up.
same neighborhood. My mom would call I have sisters. So like if you can get there before, you're gonna drive over and like make sure you're gonna continuously call me so that way you make sure you don't wake up and you hear about it from someone else. You're gonna come over and tell me and shake me. Chloe, wake up. I got something to tell you. That's better than sending on a text message and saying, oh, what is this? No. I get it though. It's reality and it's real life, and I think a lot of times like you don't have to show everything. But just don't say that it was real,
Don't bill it as
Right.
more documentary.
Right, and I think
It's
everything
the
else
same.
too. I think with the Tristan, I think some certain things like,
Yeah.
But he put himself in that situation. So you put yourself in a situation where they can tell their part of the story and probably make you look even worse than maybe it all came out to be. But
Oh, well. All right, let's do a little quick double tap before we get out of here. Something that we didn't hit from the Warriors Parade, if we can bring this up, was through the years, Riley Curry has obviously seen it all. And so the side-by-side comparison of Riley Curry at her first championship parade versus yesterday, I loved her outfit, for one
Yeah.
thing. The puffy sleeves situation is just so cute. But, like, what a life.
I know.
That's a lot.
The whole entire family, the fact that like you see how young Riley is, but then you see like Ryan and Cannon behind, and like Ryan looks as if like she's standing tall. We didn't even know about Ryan then, Like that's really cool. And like Aisha's outfit was amazing. She had someone made her like a Warriors like style like shirt dress. It was like two jerseys behind together, so the shirt had the number on, and then her butt had his number on it too. Her and the sisters. I feel like we're still not talking about the family. His brother-in-law, who's married to Steph's sister, they're all NBA champions in this. And to see the picture after the game of like Seth and his wife Callie Rivers, and then you see the sister Sadell Curry with Damian Lee, who just also won, and then like the parents. It's like, they're probably looking back or even looking at that parade like, even though we had our drama this year, they're getting divorced and other things, but we did good. Our kids are good.
Our kids are and
are
that's all
happy and
any
good.
parents
Yes.
want ultimately is look at our kids thriving, look at this family thriving.
Yes.
And that's the like that was my favorite thing of watching at the end of it all, even in like the post game ceremony and then the parade yesterday. It's just all the families, like they've grown up together, and to watch Steph and Aisha, like that's beautiful. Their support for each other is just, I love it.
I do
and
too.
Again, we've said it once, I'll say it again. If I ever find out that they're not,
oh God,
what they look like, I would
I'm
be.
not coming.
I would be
I'm gonna have to
devastated.
call out.
I'm not talking about
No,
it.
that's
We're just
not
skipping
even
over
the
it.
story.
No,
we're not.
No.
There's like a couple of people that do that. Like it's like other people have that effect on me. Like
they're one of them.
Yes, they are. They are definitely one of them. Yeah. Okay. Let's hustle up and get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. So what are we
Sure
watching
is.
today?
I don't know what I'm watching.
I was going to
today.
talk about hockey today.
Shh. They lost. We don't have to.
Oh,
talk
so
about
Oh, we
it.
do need to talk about the Lightning. It looked like, Meghan, they were going to fall apart in the first period
It
again.
all goes back to the goal they took away.
They took away,
for
so Meghan,
offsides.
the video review is going to be the death of us all. It looked like the puck may have been offsides. There was some white between
It
the
looked
blue.
pretty definitively
But
offsides.
yeah, that took one goal away.
But that changed the tone
And
of the
it,
ga- the
it changed.
Avs were-
And you say it changed the tone, but the Avs went out there and scored the first goal, though. So instead of the Avs being up 2-0 and really taking a hold of the game, they were only up 1-0. And then the second period happens, all hell breaks loose. Lightning are just slap-shotting balls all over the place. The goalie is standing on his head, hitting them with the stinky glove. Lightning come
They
out there.
replaced their
They're not
goalie.
getting
Now there's
swept.
a little goalie
Absolutely.
controversy
Well,
that we'll have to talk about tomorrow.
The good thing is we're going to have Catherine Bogart on tomorrow, New Jersey Devils reporter. She is into the all hockey world. And so we're going to get her take on everything and like answer some questions to hopefully make us, I guess, become a hockey show. I don't even know. That doesn't even sound right, but I am
It's a
intrigued.
little hockey show. Just a little one. Just a smidgen of hockey talk.
We'll see, yeah.
I will say, it was like, I went to bed halfway through the third period last night, and Chris was like, you're not going to watch the end? And I was like, my team's not winning. I don't care about it enough to continue to watch this game. It was way more fun when it was 7-0. That was more
great.
fun.
I think they're the first team to like come back from losing from 7 to come back to win the next game
And destroy.
in the Stanley Cup. So yeah, we'll talk to Catherine tomorrow, and we'll have D'Angelo on, and we'll be back like always. So enjoy your Tuesday. We'll see you on Wednesday.
This has been Rise and Grind with Jessica and Meghan. Tune in live daily at 8 a.m. or on demand by heading to grindcitymedia.com or Grind City Media on YouTube.